a lot of what's going on right now, people are starting to come into spirituality, and it can be really scary to even just believe for yourself that it's real, that the dream that you had that was telling you something about the future is something you should listen to, or that the connection you have with somebody that you're feeling their feelings or understanding what's going on. It's easy to trick yourself and to doubt yourself.
Yeah, my name is Tanisha, and a couple of months ago I purchased a van, and then with the help of my neighbor was able to convert it to something that I can live in and travel in with my cat. Along the way, I met people with stories and perspectives that challenge, inspire, and connect me in ways I never expected. This journey, which I call Earthbound Journeys, by the way, is a look at life beyond the comfort zones, where every encounter has something to teach us. So if you're interested in learning about what my journey can teach you, then don't forget to subscribe.
Is the Turtleback Country Club, and I really love to just sit and write here. It's really nice. It feels vibrationally high. I own a website called Clarity Guided to match people with guides who will guide them into either healing or whichever type of guidance that is really calling you, whether that's to be guided into opening up more spiritually, to be guided to figure out what blocks are happening with your abundance, to find a guide that really aligns with you and your needs. I finished a book called Rehab for Love, and Rehab for Love is about healing from narcissism abuse, and it's working on that through neurolinguistic programming. I'm a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, and then I also am writing a book currently on the movement of laughter and the relationship between humor and trauma.
So tell me how it feels to actually reality jump. Like how do you access that point? Because you did tell me one time that you were at your computer, and when you connected with a person that had tattoos, she was also at her computer.
Yeah.
So you guys are both doing the same action, and is that how you're accessing it? Maybe just when you need to in that moment?
I think that being the same emotional energy is allowing me to access the four that I've been able to access, and I try to access like my highest timeline, my most happiest self, and that version is harder for me to get to. I'm able to do it in glimpses, and I want to hold on to the energy, and I think that I need to practice holding on to those energies more, but it's not my rhythm right now. I don't feel like I was a version of myself that figured it out. There was a version of me that has a lot more tattoos, was like made the choice to get more tattoos. I'm tatted, but you can't tell. And there's a version of me that didn't stop getting tattoos. And she was very depressed and angry. She had the same life as me. We were both doing the exact same thing. But she was angry and depressed, and she needed the answer of, would she still be alone and not in a relationship, and having gone through all the trauma and drama and abusive relationships that she was in, if she didn't have tattoos. So she quantum jumped, so that version of me quantum jumped to me. And I gave her the answer of, it had nothing to do with the way that you look. It has everything to do with you and how you move through life and value yourself. I kind of stumbled into NLP. I actually had no intention of really becoming a practitioner of it. I just really thought it was fascinating. I was frequenting a coffee shop in Florida, and there was somebody, no matter which coffee shop I went to, he was always there. And he happened to be an NLP academy teacher. So he created an entire NLP academy, and he was doing online classes for people, and it didn't matter where I go. There's 4 different coffee shops that I would go to and frequent. And he was at every single one. So I just went to his NLP class, and I loved it, and I just kept going, and I just ended up becoming a practitioner because it was enjoyable. And I was like, wow, these are so, these tools are amazing. Everyone needs this. This is like hacking reality. I love it. And I just felt it was aligned with how I saw reality. And So I kept doing NLP for that. It wasn't really like at the time meant to be like a healing tool. I thought it would actually help me more for business. How you process one thing is how you process everything. And you can kind of decode yourself and recode yourself, and that you experience reality as you've anchored it previously. So to have a different experience in reality is to re-anchor what you understand of it, your perception of it. I think a lot of it is just kind of looking at your inner dialogue as the script that you've anchored in to your reality. And by changing how you would word the script or what else was possible in your reality. As an example, I have a friend who was in a car accident. And afterwards, she was like, that was such a horrible experience. I'm traumatized. She was holding on to it rather than like, I'm alive and I appreciate life. And I'm so grateful. And it's the same experience, but how you decode an experience is based off of how you decode other experiences. So you have to decode and reframe. So you're decoding your reality. How are you coding it? I think that's the biggest part, is how are you coding reality? And then you can reframe it. Then you can change the story, or change your code, and then your story will already immediately change. Like the movie in your mind, I remember that we talked about yesterday about how like you hold on to memories and you hold on to these moments and they keep replaying in your mind. It's just a movie in your mind. And so like you have to first take a step back and acknowledge that you're watching it. Get out of the movie. You're
Yes.
not in it. You're watching yourself be in it.
Yes.
And then
Oh.
go further, one seat back. Then keep going back. And then be in the balcony, be in a safe place, and watch yourself in the movie. And then take something that is happy, that you encoded as happy or joyful, and then bring that energy back into the movie that you're watching. Like you gotta kind of let go of the attachment that you have to the story, to the emotion of the story that you're replaying in your mind. So it looks at reality as something you encoded and then live within the code that you created within your mind. Do you like this one or do you like that one?
Is the other one bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll need some space, I think.
All right, so I did lead gen for a lot of different companies. I did it for Microsoft to get lead gen for Surface tablets and at college universities, and I did lead generation for Toyota, hundreds of different companies on the field, on the ground, in person, talking to people, being like, enter sweepstakes, or if you would like something for free, a free phone charger, free Red Bull, free. We had a whole bunch of things. So what happens with that is that we were getting paid hourly, and I was the best at it. So eventually I wanted to go into a situation where I was getting paid per conversion, like is done in affiliate marketing or online lead generation. So I felt like I wasn't valued enough. I felt like I wasn't seen. So I started my own company, having people go door to door with lead gen. Eventually, I realized like if all you have to do in life is give things for free and then get somebody's interest or get paid for just creating interest, then I can help heal poverty. It was like this like big like what I could like take somebody who has nothing and all they have to do is give to other people and they would be very wealthy, or at least be able to survive and live a good life. And so I did have situations where people were getting out of debt, traveling around the world. Somebody even made enough money to start their own restaurant and go into their own world as they wanted it. The thing that really struck me though was an individual who was in fact homeless. And the first week they started working, they made $1,600. By the end of the month, they had made something like $3,000. The next month, they made almost nothing. when I asked them what was going on, they said that they needed money at the end of the day because every time they got paid from me, the money would disappear the very next day. And I realized that helping people with these things, with getting out of debt, healing poverty, or getting out of homelessness, had nothing to do with the resource itself. That what would really help somebody is their own emotional blocks towards abundance itself. So while I still love affiliate marketing, another issue that I had was that I wasn't in control of the leads, or who got the leads, where they went to. I didn't like that at all. So I wanted to build my own system. That's how I started Clarity Guided. And I wanted the system to focus on healing people, because healing people looks like 100 different things, and everybody needs their own individual person that they're aligned with to help guide them. And that's a huge thing that is a problem within the mental health space in general. With the mental health in the United States, we were at an all-time high before the pandemic at 8% of the nation having clinical depression, and after the pandemic we're at 30%. So we don't have enough people there, and how are you going to find somebody that aligns to you, that's going to help guide you towards not only mental health but spiritual well-being, and building yourself into the person that you want to become, the version of yourself that your goal is to becoming. So Clarity Guided is a group of people who are guides, and that can look like astrology, tarot cards, talking to somebody, finding somebody who's neurolinguistic programming or hypnosis, and just finding somebody who's most aligned to you and what you're wanting and what you're needing with your life. Promoting guides, the way that I'm doing it is with animation and working to really create storyline and animated characters to entertain people, because I feel like that is the smartest direction for marketing. I'm having a lot of fun with it, which is how I know that I'm on the right direction, the right track with it. It's a lot. It's really exciting. And so, yeah, we're having these little characters, and each character has its own backstory, and each character is tied to different customer segmentation. So right now we're focusing on tarot readers. So if you are a tarot reader, if you are a tarot reader and you're interested in getting onto the platform, that is the first thing that we're marketing. And then the next would be sound healing. But it's a animated cat that has its own world and her own story, and she's had her own near-death experiences as well, and building upon that has been a lot of fun. I guess I think that the thing to really tune into is that a lot of what's going on right now, people are starting to come into spirituality, and it can be really scary to even just believe for yourself that it's real, that the dream that you had that was telling you something about the future is something you should listen to, or that the connection you have with somebody that you're feeling their feelings or understanding what's going on. It's easy to trick yourself and to doubt yourself, but with my platform you can find a community of guides to help you navigate that. And it's just so important in general to be able to trust that it's real as you develop a relationship with God, a higher power, faith, whatever you would like to call it. You'll be able to channel things better, and you'll be able to see that for yourself more. And there's a bigger and bigger community developing in the world right now that's needed, and it's there for you, however you would like to interact with it. How else to finish that?